Hello, and welcome everybody to another episode of the Founders Forum. We had a great show for you guys tonight, and today's topic is the road. All roads lead to Israel. Basically, it's basically saying here that because it's pretty well known that Israel does have a lot of they have their hands in a lot of pockets, if so to say, I guess. But yeah, let's get right into it. So first off, yeah, it's a big conspiracy. I mean, I personally wouldn't say it's much of a conspiracy. It's more of a fact that Israel pretty much runs the world, especially in terms of media. So, which actually leads us into the first thing. Um, a lot of the big companies around the world are actually owned by Jewish companies or Jewish people, and for example, Fox News. That's a major broadcasting network, right? Just recently, Israel. Well, no, the a big company, Palantir, right? They just bought TikTok, and they said themselves, it's TikTok is a very powerful weapon in terms of the media because everybody's on TikTok. You scroll all day, so it's easy to get information out there. So yeah, the guy, I forgot his name, but the guy who owns Palantir just bought TikTok. So now they can get their, I guess if you want to say their propaganda out. So, they'll be censoring anti-Israel content or creators. So you can expect to see that. Um, yeah, I guess in terms of other countries, the U.S. is a major, player in this situation. Israel relies on the United States for, military funding, um, intelligence, all that sort of stuff. They kind of use us as like the meat shield in a way, or the older brother. They start a problem and then they expect us to fix it. When they're bombing cities in Iran or Gaza in this case, right? They're dropping bombs that say made in the USA, and it's sad because we're letting them get away with genocide. I mean, truly, they back in October 7th, right, when Iran went after Israel, right? Then obviously, you give the chance for Israel to fight back or defend themselves. Because, they also, we gifted them with the Iron Dome because, they're a much smaller country. But, and yeah, so they were actually able to shoot most of them down. But, after a while, Iran stops fighting back and just, has hostages and that's it. But yet, Israel is still going after them, bombing buildings and entire cities. So we're basically letting basically letting them get away with genocide, and so we can't let that happen. Um, but yeah, that's just one of the cases, really. They receive 3.8 billion dollars every year from the U.S. No matter who's the president, or again, also it doesn't matter if the president's Republican or Democrat. All roads lead to Israel, right? So they get a guaranteed 3.8 billion dollars every year sent to Israel. So, and back in 2016 with Obama, it was the largest military aid fund package or something in history. It was $38 billion of military aid sent straight to Israel from the United States. So, and that's taxpayer money, by the way. So it's not like we're this is benefiting us. We're actually, losing from the situation. So it doesn't really make sense. It starts to make you wonder, why are these politicians allowing so much money to be sent to Israel? So it's a really good situation. Um, but yeah, every president bends their will to them. It doesn't matter. Like I said before, it doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat, because as you can see, Trump, he said no more funding to Ukraine, right? So you would assume that goes for the same thing with Israel. And although yes, we are allies, we should have to realize that it's America first, not Israel first. And yet here we are, Trump's, like he's allowing Israel to just walk right over us. He's bending his will for Israel's benefit and for our, demise, if you want to say, because, you know, It's just we can be putting money towards crumbling infrastructure, homeless veterans, or just poor U.S. citizens, but yet every year $3.8 billion is getting sent to Israel. So and yeah, it's just and you want to make videos and have these companies send out information on Israel, but when Israel controls everything, like I said before, Fox News, it's kind of hard to get information out there. It's hard to get the truth out. And this actually ties into the Charlie Kirk situation because he was a big supporter of Israel until the very end. They said a week before his assassination, he said something against Israel. So there's theories that he in the last month or week of his life, he actually went against Israel and started spreading negative propaganda against them. And so what they do, they assassinated him. That's just a conspiracy, but kind of makes sense if you think about it. Um, but yeah, it's just yeah, and also another thing, they influence U.S. elections, our defense budgets, our army policy, and Middle East strategy. Israel always intersects with all that stuff because they always want to play the victim card or just want to be the center of attention. Uh, and it's just not a good situation. And now it's not even just a race thing that because the stereotype that all Jews want money or stuff like that, but it's just the foundation of the country itself. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.